Imagine this with me, my friend. A room so brilliantly white it feels like the light itself is swallowing every shadow. And there, in the center of it all, stands a young woman. Her eyes tell stories that don't match her age. She's holding a delicate glass tube between her fingers, and inside, a single crimson drop of blood. She stands with this profound confidence, this quiet arrogance, as if she's cradling the universe's deepest secrets in the palm of her hand.
Just one drop of blood. Just that's all it takes to read the body's hidden stories. Just one drop and to save millions of lives.
Stanford University, where big dreams are born. And this student? She wasn't just dreaming, she was already living in the future while everyone else was stuck in the present. Her eyes had this intense focus, like she could see things nobody else could.
Professor, I'm not waiting around for a piece of paper. Degrees don't save lives. My machine will save millions.
She had the confidence but needed the look to match. So she does the full makeover: black suits, deeper voice, the whole CEO package. But the real magic trick? She scores meetings with the biggest names in business. We're talking former government heavyweights, Walmart money, the whole A-list crew. Suddenly, her dorm room idea becomes Theranos, a billion-dollar company that's going to change medicine forever. Investors can't throw money at her fast enough, all betting on this medical miracle. Meet Edison, her so-called magic box. She claims this toaster-sized thing can run hundreds of tests from one tiny finger prick of blood. Sounds amazing, right? Here's the reality check. It was basically regular lab gear stuffed in a fancy case. They'd water down blood samples to make them last longer, run them through old machines with a fresh coat of paint, and basically cross their fingers for the results.
We're making healthcare simple. No more painful needles, no more waiting weeks for results, just quick, easy answers.
But behind this glittering facade of innovation, the foundation was beginning to crumble. The machines, those supposed marvels of technology, were constantly failing. Test results would contradict themselves in the most baffling ways, and the engineers exchanged silent, terrified glances that spoke volumes more than any report ever could.
And the accuracy rate is barely hitting 30%. This machine isn't just flawed, it's fundamentally broken. We're standing at the edge of a medical catastrophe that could ruin countless lives.
But behind this glittering facade of innovation, the foundation was beginning to crumble. The machines, those supposed marvels of technology, were constantly failing. Test results would contradict themselves in the most baffling ways, and the engineers exchanged silent, terrified glances that spoke volumes more than any report ever could.
The accuracy rate is barely hitting 30%. This machine isn't just flawed, it's fundamentally broken. We're standing at the edge of a medical catastrophe that could ruin countless lives.
The young engineer Tyler could no longer bear the weight of this deception. He decided to shatter the wall of silence, confronting with his own eyes the reality that Elizabeth stubbornly refused to acknowledge.
This is fraud. We're gambling with people's lives. We're putting them in direct danger. These aren't mere technical errors. This is a crime against humanity itself.
The shocking truth was that Tyler was terrified. The next day, he didn't show up at the company. His office stood empty. He had vanished like a single drop disappearing into the vast ocean. But Tyler wasn't alone in this battle. Within the same company, there was the infamous lawyer David, who systematically threatened anyone attempting to expose the truth. And of course, the employees lived in perpetual fear of termination and intimidation. And here emerges John, the diligent journalist who knows no fear. The journalist who decided to pursue the truth. He began to follow the thread of the lie, like someone opening a vault overflowing with deceptions. Every lie gives birth to dozens more, and every false promise reveals promises even more deceitful.
I have the evidence, the witnesses, and the documents. This is the greatest medical scam in history. The device is nothing but an elaborate deception.
But Elizabeth did not surrender. To lend her company more credibility, she enlisted former U.S. Secretary of State Henry and the famous military commander James. She used their influence and reputation to fortify herself and her company against doubts, as if telling the world who dares to question men of such weight. And of course, she threatened journalist John with her lawyer David. And just as I told you, journalist John knows no fear. He published the article that exploded like a bomb, utterly destroying the sandcastle. Funding evaporated, investors fled, and the queen who once ruled Silicon Valley suddenly found herself utterly alone, stripped of her throne, and the imaginary empire crumbled into dust within moments.
The court sentences Elizabeth to 11 years in prison, compensation of $452 million, and 3 years of supervision after release.
Investigations revealed the company's value had reached $9 billion, and that she lost everything. And patients received wrong diagnoses that almost cost them their lives. And that she lied to investors and promised them imaginary revenues that never materialized, and forged reports and signed with names of major pharmaceutical companies to delude everyone of their support, while deliberately hiding the fact that her technology didn't work, and used their money for private jet trips and luxurious hotels and extravagant residences, to make her life a story of luxury financed by her investors' dreams and money.
You know, Guard, I'm still convinced the idea was successful. It was only the execution that failed.
And so, my friend, this story reaches its end. From a brilliant white room to a shadowed cell, from a single drop of blood that vowed to transform the world to the stark reality of a lengthy prison sentence. Elizabeth's tale leaves us with a lasting lesson. Ambition without integrity is a ship sailing without a compass. It may embark full of hope, yet its fate is to sink in an ocean of deception. Carry this with you always, my friend. Your dreams hold great beauty, but the path you take must be honorable. For genuine success is built upon a foundation of truth, never upon lies.